Hey friends! As promised, we're going to tour the backyard orchard. I'm excited to show you all the new stuff that's happening, all the new growth. I planted some annuals that are flowering, so it's looking really nice and decorated. Let me show you. If you're new here, I had all of this filled in, actually all the trees since 2019, but the recent snowstorm took all my citrus, so this is all new. These are 2 avocados. They're doing well. I haven't removed the tape just because I was giving it about a week or so. Give them some time to get adjusted to the new soil and their new environment. I added these new zinnias, and it's about, I think, 18 of them. I bought a whole tray and they're all flowering. This is new. I hadn't decorated this before. I'm planning on adding some more annuals here later. The 2 avocados are Lila Joey. Then we have the citrus, orange Mars. This is grapefruit, tangerine. This is the one that snapped right here. And so far it doesn't have any signs of struggle, so we might heal that wound pretty soon. We have Tangelo. The mandarin is the one that's struggled with stability. It hasn't been able to stand up straight, so I have a couple of supports there, and that's why the leaves look like they're flipped, because it keeps tilting over. And then this one is my Moro Blood Orange. They're all looking really good. I think they're loving its new spot, and that's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna say that they're going to thrive here. In the very back we have our sunflowers. If you look at the last video, I will link it here. You can see how these are little bitty and they're almost about to bloom, so I really can't wait. And then we have some blue Victoria salvia in the back that started to flower. There's a little bit of powdery mildew because it's very humid here right now. We had a lot of rain days, which is good for the trees, but a lot is a lot. My fig trees are coming back. They're getting super bushy. Pretty soon I'm going to pinch them at the top because I don't want them to be too lengthy. I want them to be more strong. I think they're looking pretty good so far. And then we have the pear. And guess what? I just noticed this today. We have our first pear. This is the very first time it bloomed, and we have 1 fruit. It's beautiful. This is the other pear. It's not as full as the other one, but it's getting there. And then we have our apples. I'm going to say that the Golden Dorset is a star. It was blooming with the storm. Everything else that bloomed didn't make it, and then this one just thrived. It's like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I am strong. Look at its trunk compared to the other ones. That's an apple back there. This is its 2nd year here, but this is also an apple. This is a Fuji or a Gala. Yeah, this is the Gala, and then this one is the Fuji apple. You see the difference? Crazy. So I lost all of its blooms. You see right here, I've got to come back and cut this off. So I don't think I'll get apples this year, but I'm so thankful it has survived. I'm going to stay back here so you can see these are the cherries. But if you look on this side, you'll see a row of all my zinnias and 2 mammoth sunflowers there. So eventually this will all bloom. I think within the next 2 weeks or a week, they're about to bloom. So I'm super excited to see pink, orange, purple all around here. And I love to snake in the back and just admire. Over here we have some dahlias and some stalks. It's the first time me growing them, so I don't know what's going on yet. This does like a little curvature with that concrete. And then over here, these are some nasturtiums that I seeded indoors a while back. And I snuck them in there because this is already getting pretty shaded. I'm sure that they will enjoy some of the cooler weather. I want my whole backyard to be an edible garden, so I added these blackberries I think they're struggling with the change, but we got a new bloom. So hopefully they adjust. I think I'm gonna add some more containers here with more things. But I wanted to come back and show you how my apricots and plums look. They're gorgeous. I love them so much. My very first, both of these are fruiting this year. And look at my plums. They're getting there. I have some hidden everywhere. Look at this one. Oh, it's so beautiful. There's quite a few of them. It's their first year. And then if we come on over, and here are the apricots. It's only dropped maybe about 3 or 4 overall. Everything else is still on. And this tree is full. So these are a couple that it's dropped. It's a Royal Belheim apricot. And the other one in the back is a tomcat. The plums, I've got the late Santa Rosa and the Emerald Butte plum. Both of the plums have a few of the fruit in random places, but not tomcat. It hasn't bloomed yet, so no fruit this year, but we're definitely gonna get some from Royal Belheim. Now for the recent additions. I didn't film it for YouTube, but I did film it for an Instagram IGTV. So go check it out there if you're curious to see what happened when I pulled the dead trees and how I put the new trees. Now we have a full peaches and nectarines cluster. And our new one is back there. That is a June gold peach. Looks a little bit banged up because while I had the time to put it on the ground, it did fall a few times on the concrete. The winds were so harsh that it did get a little beating, but I'm so thankful that it's almost the same height as all the other ones. And now that everything is growing, I can come back now and cut the overgrowth. We want everything to stay the same height so one doesn't shade the other. But it's looking so much better. And I'm so excited. I think that is a new variety that's more common here in Texas. I will always miss my Eva's Pride peach. And I just realized we still have a bloom here. This one was the one that struggled the most. It's barely gaining some growth. It had some stunt growth for about the 2 years. So this is going to be its 3rd year, and I think it's finally getting comfortable in the area. This one had struggles, and then that one, but they're coming back. They're gonna make it. I think they're sensing my love. And then down here, these are some things I seeded indoors as well. We've got some more zinnias in the front. This is a smaller variety. The ones in the back are the giant binary zinnias. So there are 2 marigolds, some calendulas in the back. I'm not sure what that one is, but it's been there since the winter and it came back. You see the difference between a shaded area and a full sun area? Big difference. I had some lavender here in the front that I think is struggling a bit. These are some weeds, but this is lavender and that's lavender. The Munstead. And then we have this one that's starting to bloom. This is my first seeded lavender that blooms. First time, and I think I'm loving it. And there's so many in there. And it's called oregano lavender. And this is a volunteered tomato. I didn't do that. They're very crowded. I didn't thin them out. I think it loved its new spot. Moving on. Here we are. My new pomegranates. I'm so thankful I found 2 more to add, and this one has been blooming constantly. So maybe we can get some fruit early in the next year or so. I did the same plan, maybe a little bit further apart, but the same idea. And I added the slimmer, longer one over here because the sun rises on this side. I didn't want that one to get shaded from this one, so I'll give this one some time to fluff up. I'm also going to come back and cut the tops of these, probably a little bit of this one too, just so that we can get the height together. And that's what I did with the other set, and it was beautiful and it was lush, so I'm excited to do it again. You see my little lettuce wagon? It has a zinnia up there too that's blooming. It's so beautiful. I love the wagon. I think it's gorgeous. It has spinach, kale, lettuce. Pretty cool. There's a calendula there from last year. I just added these petunias. That's some basil and the last of the giant zinnias. I think that's the only purple one that I had, so I added the purple together. And then last but not least, I have my lemon and lime trees. They're so full, so ready to keep going. This is the one that kind of struggled a bit. I think I still need to pay some close attention to it. I've been adding a lot of the castings and the worm tea, so I think it'll bounce back. And I also added some of the citrus tone from Espoma. Over here, my lime has done really well. I still need to come back and cut some of the dead that was left. It doesn't have many insects. And Gary sent me this trap here. It's commercial grade, but we've got some bugs in there and I'm really liking it so far. No leaf miner. None at all, so I think it's working. Because I know last year I already had it by then. See the craziness? That's the wind. That's the after work hairdo. If you're interested in the vegetable garden, it goes all the way around. There's a lot going. I just posted a tour of it. I'll link it here. If you're interested, go check it out. Best time of the day for me because I get to walk through here after I check on the vegetable garden and watch the sunset and admire all my trees. It's filling in. We've got some work there, but it'll get there pretty soon. And here's all the new stuff. Ask me all the questions below. I will do this every month so you can see progress. Very easy maintenance. I fertilize every season. I water if it hasn't rained in a while. It stays pretty moist in this area, so I don't have to do it often at all. So very low maintenance. The most I've ever had to do really is plant my annuals. Everything else is pretty easy. I do pruning probably 3 times in the year to maintain the height. This is a high density orchard. It's driving me nuts. It's a high density orchard and it's meant to stay short just because it's the backyard orchard. Well, thanks for sticking around. Turn on your notifications if you have subscribed. If not, do so you get notifications on when I post again. See you next time. Friends, we are going to tour the backyard orchard and show you all the new things and all the what? That's what happens when you are not prepared. I don't know what to say.